Call to order.
Mrs. Metropolis absent. Mrs. Lewinsky?
Here.
Mrs. Grove?
Here.
Mrs. Lamb? Absent. Mrs. Schroeder? Here. Mr. Medina?
Here.
And Mrs. Bergen?
Here. The Pledge of Allegiance.
Here today.
Oh. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, introduction of guests.
Yeah, we have our admin team, minus Fran and Emily, who are both down in Champaign today for the pre-K conference. So they're working on that together. We also have Victoria Reed, who is a potential candidate for Student Services Director. So I think that's all we've got today. So. Ready for the next one.
Wonderful.
2.0 donations to the district.
Yes, we have a potential board action to accept a Dreambox donation. Megan had spoken earlier this year about Dreambox wanting to work with some of our students and teachers
to try to make Dreambox better overall.
And it sounds like they did a pretty good job. They have kind of partnered with the Gates Foundation, and
they want to clear some wish lists for the staff who were working with them. So
that is a donation that they would like to make. I think it's up to $2,000
total that they want to clear. So they just have a nice feedback to the
staff,
and knowing staff that will in turn be a good give back.
So I
I would recommend
this.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion.
Second. Mrs. Bergen on the second. Mrs. Grove? Aye. Mrs. Schroeder? Aye. Mr. Medina? Aye. Mrs. Bergen? Aye. Mrs. Lewinsky?
Aye.
3.0
approval of the
consent agenda minutes of the March 10th open and closed meeting. Can I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mrs. Bergen?
Aye.
Mr. Medina?
Aye.
Mrs. Grove?
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder? Aye. And Mrs. Lewinsky?
Aye. 4.0 superintendent's report.
Yeah, before I jump right in, I did just want to take a moment. We had unfortunately a staff member pass away over break. Steve was our nighttime custodian over at Ridge Lawn. Had a very nice service for him on Saturday. It's what I say is always great about working in this district. The turnout from our district on a Saturday was just fantastic. Everything from administrators to secretaries to teaching staff and paraprofessionals and the custodian staff. I think almost everyone was there. So that was just really nice to see. Steve was a really great guy. Worked here just under 10 years. Started off at all the buildings kind of as the float and then did the vast majority over at Ridge Lawn. So just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to the Ridge Lawn staff for their outpouring for their family. So we have a PTA update. Laura just came from their event going on right now, the Glow Party over at the Tinley Park Roller Rink. So I know that's going on well. We had our grant meeting last week where they provided quite a few grants for our teaching staff, which is wonderful. It's a lot of new opportunities for our students that way. And we also have upcoming, we have the PTA end of the year bash, which we all look forward to. That is towards the end of May. I want to say it's like May 20th. Does that sound right? What's that? Yes. Yeah, May 20th. So they've been getting all those things. They're also looking for people to step up next year. And they're going to be sending out a flyer if we haven't done so already to kind of get parents involved because the 4 members have put in a lot of time and they need some volunteers. So for our enrollment report, we're at 1,556 students. That's up 3 from last month, and we're still up 40 from this time last year. So we continue to grow as we move forward, which we've for a while now. Included in your packet is a listing of all the current open positions within the district. We actually had our admin meeting earlier today, and one of the celebrations was our ability to hire, especially at the junior high lately. That is not something I've been saying over the last few years, but we've been filling some much harder positions that haven't, like special ed, specific things like PE health and science that aren't always easy to fill, and we're finding that to go much better. We still have some special ed positions across the district. We have a kindergarten position over at Lawn that we're still trying to fill, but we're definitely making progress. As we look at the numbers, and as I keep talking to you about increasing class sizes, 2 areas that we see a need to add additional additional staff that I'll be recommending later in this meeting. One is a third grade teacher over at Ridge Lawn. If we were to start classes today, I think the classes were 31, 30, and 30. It's not great learning for a third grade. So even if those go down a little bit, we're still going to need to add a staff member. So I'd recommend doing that now so we can hire. And the other is an additional special education teacher over at Ridge Central. As I had shared previously, if we do not look at adding one, we would be looking at potentially sending 8 students off-site. If we do add one, we would be able to, we believe, keep these students here in-house, which is what we have been trying to push to do. So I would recommend that later in the meeting as well.
Is there any job fairs coming up?
So we have been attending quite a few, and is it next week already? Is yes, so that's next week. This is the first time we've seen it. Arab American Family Services is hosting one locally. We did the 218 one, which we already got a staff member from when we attended that one. We've done ISU. Trinity no longer has them because they won't unfortunately have a school. But yeah, we've been hitting as many job fairs as possible and really getting our names out there. So yeah. These are exciting things to talk about, and I can't believe we are already talking about it, but the 8th grade end of the year events. The first one is the 8th grade banquet at the Garden Chalet on Friday, May 15th at 6:30. You don't have to drive far and you can eat dinner. I believe you do have a invitation. If you are interested in going, please let Lori know by May 1st so she can make sure that Finley is aware. I usually go and stay till dinner and watch about 2 songs, realize I don't know any of the songs, and then I head home. But it's always nice to see them all get dressed up. And then 8th grade graduation this year at Richards. We spoke about this a few months ago, but we did have to move it up to May 28th because they're starting construction, and that was the latest day that we could have it there. So that is at 7 o'clock. I also believe I shared with the board earlier that I will not be able to attend this year and give the speech. My son is also graduating 8th grade that night at the same exact time, and I believe Chrissy's going to give the speech in my place. So,
And I hope we all can go. I think it's important for the community to see the board members all present at graduation.
Yeah.
One of the few opportunities that we have like a large number of members of our community in one place.
Yeah. And I think it's important for the students to see that when they can, just like, oh, this is important. Like all these people are dressed up and came to see me. Same thing as I put in here. These are both events that we try to get as many board members to attend as possible. So just let us know if you're able to make it, and it should be a lot of fun. 4.5 registration. You're right there, Tuesday. Online registration did open on March 23rd. They have until April 20th to get the discounted rate. But importantly for tonight, I just wanted to let everyone know that we do have kindergarten registration tomorrow night over at Ridge Lawn, and on Thursday over at Ridge Central from 3:30 to 6. So we want to get as many people registered so we know what our staffing needs to look like. 4.6 right now is more just an informational item that we are looking at doing. As you know, Emily is moving into the pre-K director role. We've been talking with the pre-K staff quite a bit. And right now, currently, our pre-K students go to library multiple times each week where they are not with their classroom teacher. And that has been done to ensure that our classroom teachers get enough plan time. And we looked at every program in the area. We looked at Original 122, North Palis, Oaklawn Hometown, everywhere that I could think to look up. And we are the only ones that went beyond the 2.5-hour time, which makes sense. Like have the kids with their learning more time would be good, but they're not learning from their teacher. So I am proposing that we adjust the hours so that they're with their teacher that entire 2.5-hour time. That would still allow time in the middle of the day for the teachers to get their required plan and lunch. And the only shift that I would make from what I wrote in here, the afternoon would be 12:30 to 3. We wanted to see if we could get the kids out a little early so it wasn't as hectic. But even that 5 minutes would preclude us from having enough time for the staff. So that would have to be 12:30 to 3. Still talking with people, trying to make sure we've looked at every option that's going to work best for our students and staff. But I hope to bring something in May, kind of like a formal approval from the board. Any questions on that? Joanna?
With the dismissal for pre-K, only go on Fridays. Some of my siblings in school.
Is there a way to make that a little easier so parents don't have to run the other side of the building, pick up another kid? Don't with the preschoolers, don't the older siblings go and pick up their younger siblings?
We can talk and see.
I think some parents might appreciate it.
Yeah.
So and so kindergarten.
Yeah, we can see. Yep. Any other questions on the preschool hours?
They start at the same time as
Yeah.
At 8, the morning does at 8. So yeah, that line gets pretty backed up. We've talked with Sean a lot trying to figure that out. Yeah.
That's like they started earlier, like 5 minutes earlier than the rest of them, and they all get in the building.
Yeah.
Plus gas for drop off for the AM shift. And then that would be the 5 minutes at the end, get hour, and it's less gas.
Well, they're two different groups.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Teachers' contracts start hours too.
Yeah.
You have to think about.
Yeah, so we're looking at everything. I'll come with a formal kind of thing in May. With,
I know basically, so I mean, I feel like they're flexible. Just so
they are cute. 4.7, this is on the agenda every single year. It's a consolidated district plan. We just need to formally approve it. Nothing really changes, but it allows us to go after grants that are out there every single year. And then 4.8, I did want to remind the board about their Cook County Statement of Economic Interest. We do still have some people I know have not filled it out. And I don't want to see you have to pay to be on this board because they will fine you starting May 2nd. So, and then finally, we continue with our fun FOIA request. We received one from CT Mills, March 16th, Bo Kim, March 17th, Sunny Ellen, Justin Wenig, both on March 17th, another one from Justin Wenig on March 26th, Carlos on April 3rd, Sherry Reed on April 9th, and Jules Guninwardena, I swear some of these are made up, on April 9th. And we always get these done. Our office, especially Lori, does a really nice job of making sure we are hitting our targets so we don't get any nasty letters. So
Some of them are, the one of them from Justin, it's interesting because can't you just go online and see all the staff names? I mean.
Yep. Yes.
We got, at the village, we got a very similar.
Yeah.
Thing
We
asking for name, email, title, what else, but yeah, it was like, oh, that one, I'm like, it must be out with everybody.
all government agencies are reporting a higher amount ever since like they know how to just throw it in AI and get it together rather quickly. I will say the Illinois legislature is looking at different ways, but I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon. So, all right, Megan.
Yes, so 5.1, the early literacy screener assessment plan. So back at the February study session, I shared with the board about the new state requirement that schools implement an early literacy screener 3 times a year for pre-K through 3rd grade students. And so I had shared at that time a benchmark assessment plan that you should have in your board packet today. One that has actually been updated since the last time we had spoken. I had met with each administrative team at the elementary building, and then they actually presented a similar presentation that I shared with the board with their staff meeting in March. And so this new plan that I'm sharing with the board is some changes of what we've been testing, which removes the growth NVA growth reading test from K1 and 2 students and adds that fluency assessment, which gives teachers the data on the foundational skills and meets that requirement from the state. So since I last spoke with the board, I have met with the rep from NWEA. I've got a lot of information. I've actually taken the assessments myself to make sure that we have enough information to be able to provide for their teachers and then the administrative team to prepare and really create a nice, strong transition plan for not only the staff, but then the students as well. One of the things that I do want to share that's not in the actual board update or agenda for you is that NWEA has been really responsive and has already started making changes based on the state state requirements and feedback from their partners, so us included, and we've been meeting together. And they're actually coming out with some new things as well. So this plan is what we're recommending for next year, but I do anticipate making some more updates as they make some changes on their platform as well, which are exciting things because they're meeting us where we need to be with their platform. So later on in the meeting, we're going to be asking the board to approve the payment for $26,210 for NWA math growth and fluency assessment license, so that we can meet those requirements and then continue to gather that third through eighth grade gross data for reading to ensure that we have that information.
Very important question. Were you at or above the state average when you took those tests?
You know what, that's so funny because I think Leanne asked you that question and I did not check my scores. But I'll get back to that.
Please send that to all of us.
Yeah.
I'll send you my report, so then you can all see what the report is like. That's really why you're asking, right? You want to see what the report is like from a parent perspective.
But if you're taking it before GC.
Yeah, that's right. That's not wrong.
I had a question. We talked about the Celestia screener for third grade as well, right?
No.
To catch any ones that maybe didn't get to take it in second grade.
So it's not a state requirement, and that's why you don't see it on here. So this is only for requirement. Right, so that would be a response, that would be part of that need of, we are concerned about this student, you see that student might need more data, we might need more data to determine if this student has some red flags or has some areas of foundational skill gaps that isn't prevalent or showing us in the NWA math row. So we can give them the dyslexia screener, which would give us those foundational skills, but it's not part of our tier 1 universal screener plan that you see here. Yeah. The state is only requiring with that early literacy screener that third grade take the oral reading fluency.
Right, yes. I remember us saying that we thought maybe it was a good idea to check in with those third graders since they would have that.
So we wouldn't do that for all. Yeah. I don't think it would be something that would be necessary unless there would be the need. And then 5.2, the curriculum consumables and online subscriptions. We just thought it was a good time of the year, as always we come to these next two meetings with some really large purchases. So I just wanted to bring to the board. At this time, we usually are making some consumable purchases for our phonics programs, reading, science, and social studies. And those just align to the resources that we're always using and reaching out to the buildings to make sure that we have the inventory that we need for next year. So later on in the meeting, we'll be asking the board to approve a large purchase for Kendall Hunt, which is our math workbooks for our K-8 students. For illustrative math, and then we also purchase at this time online subscriptions, which also align to our art of education, the resource, our health supplemental resource. We're actually increasing our career education subscription. We just used a component of it before. Now we're going to be purchasing Zello, the full version, which actually will align directly with 218's usage. And they recommended that we actually go with the full version, so we're excited to do that. And then also asking the board later on in the meeting to approve the purchase of Dreambox, math and Dreambox reading and plus and Park for one more year. It is a resource that we've been using for several years during small group instruction to differentiate varying levels of instruction for our students in those areas. It helps fill achievement gaps, and we've seen a lot of benefits from it since the students have been using it. I think we've been using math for the last 3 years and then reading for the last 2 years. So we're going to ask the board later on in the meeting to approve that renewal as well. And then we have not included all of the large purchases over 25,000 in this board meeting, but you will see the rest of them in May. So just wanted to give this little disclosure at this time, but know that those are coming at the next meeting.
I think I missed something about Zello. What were you saying about Zello?
Zello is an online career education program that our we've only been using Career Cruising. We've only been using that version, like that smaller version of it, for the last several years in our career education. But since we've now adopted the PACE framework and we now have to really kind of increase that education, we're now going with the full version of it.
So they're the same company, Career Cruising and Zello?
So yes, Zello is like the company and right. Yeah. Yeah, Zello is the large one. Career Cruising is just like a tab within it. Yeah.
Is that only for the middle school?
Yes. It doesn't have to be, but we only are using it. We actually receive a grant, a MAX grant from Maureen Valley that pays for a portion of it. And it has always paid for that Career Cruising. But now we are increasing it and the district has covered the rest of the cost to get the whole.
So what's the difference between like the Career Cruising and the full version?
So the Career Cruising is still part of it. So the students can still engage in that, where they take the assessment and they get to, on an understanding of what's right. The other part incorporates SEL, and then it goes through activities that they can further engage with that career itself, not just identify what best fitting, like what you be really good. This is saying, here are some jobs, and then puts you in like these almost simulated activities that you can then engage with to determine like what path within that field you would best be engaging with. And then Zello allows you to save the information from year to year. So 6th grade, you're identified as that you would really fit well in this career. And that information, because you have the full version, then transfers with you to 7th grade, transfers with you to 8th grade. And Vote 218 has really had talked to us when I went over to meet with the counselors and all of that. It then can transfer over to Richards within the program as we decided to go that route as well.
When you say SEL, is that like replacing second step?
That's right. No, it would be within this, within this career education and then meeting all those requirements within that. So it's identifying like what are the requirements that you need to have soft skills within yourself to be able to do that job. Not just you need to know measurement, but you need to also know critical thinking and leadership and problem solving. And then here are the lessons that you need to take in those areas, not just here are some math skills and some science skills and reading skills.
And then with the staff, how to choose the full version?
So our career education is just done through library. So Erin Stapleton, the librarian at the junior high, just runs the program right now. So all the students go through career education through 5th grade. But I know Erin was talking with Jeff not too long ago about making sure that the rest of the staff finds a way in how to incorporate career education and has a better understanding of the PACE framework, so that when they're in their classrooms in math or in science, they can say, well, this is really lending itself to this. That's right. So Erin was talking about that when we were talking about library curriculum changes. And 5.3, I do have another, and I just wanted to let the board know that we have officially started our One District One Book, our One District Two books. And so our 5th through 8th graders have officially started the book Restart by Gordon Foreman. And that is a very exciting book. The hallways are the junior high are covered with different hints and activities that they'll be doing. Our 5th graders are also reading that same book, and we are very excited that we are going to have a virtual visit with Gordon Foreman in May, where our 5th grade through 8th grade students are going to be able to hop on and hear Gordon Foreman speak about himself as a writer and be able to ask him questions. And then our pre-K through 4th grade students are reading a book called the Lotus Island. I always forget the beginning. Legends of Lotus Island, the Guardian Test. And then trivia has all started and the staff, we had staff winners already at the junior high. So very exciting time.
Okay, 6.1, student Chromebook replacement. Since we are a one-to-one district with our students and our devices, this is the time of the year we ask the board to approve our new Chromebooks that we'll be giving to our kindergartners, third grade and sixth graders. And we are needing 480 of them. The total cost is $171,000. And the majority of that cost is paid out of title. The only thing that we cannot pay out of our title one federal grant is the warranty. Because the title grant is only for a calendar fiscal year, so we will be paying that portion out of local funds. And Gino does his magic every year. He looks at, the best value, the best vendor, and so that quote is in your board packet for approval. 6.2 is another tech item. There's a federal program called E-Rate, and that puts schools and libraries in connection with the internet at reduced costs. And two components of that, category 1 and category 2. Category 1, we bring you every year to renew, and that's our Comcast. That's how the internet gets to the building. And then every 5 years, we are allotted a lump sum to now connect our schools within our buildings. So for the 2026 through 2030 school year, we have been awarded $281,000. And in your board packet for approval, we're asking for about a $48,000 purchase. And what that is Gino goes and he looks at all the, all the components, and he has identified certain switches that need to be replaced. So this is actually just a little bit of that 281,000. He does envision next year it being much more substantial. But what is so nice about this is we do have 5 years to use that money, and we have never let a dime go to waste. So we'll be asking the board to approve that. Then 6.3, Time Clock Plus. Time Clock Plus is our time and attendance system, which we just monitor employees' time. We use it for our payroll. And we've been using it now for 9 years, and it works for us. And like everything else, prices are going up. And there was a substantial increase that they were proposing unless we locked in for 5 years. And really, I don't see us changing. It's a system that works. We're not looking to recreate the wheel. So we will be asking the board to approve a 5-year contract with some pretty favorable rates on that. And I actually do have another. Every time you look at the news or you listen to the news or social media, Illinois and Cook County are always in the headlines. And I wanted to talk a little bit. I saw this article today how property taxes in Illinois has risen 27%. And I am just speaking for Chicago Ridge because in our property taxes, whichever county you live in, there are a lot of different components. It's not just Chicago Ridge. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to see the increase for just the Chicago Ridge School District component on a Chicago Ridge taxpayer. And over the last 18 years, we have levied, which means we asked for the county to give us an additional $2.6 million, which is a lot of money for taxpayers, and that actually is an increase of 46.4%. But when you do the math and give that a fair market value, it's actually 2.16% each year, which is actually lower than CPI. The CPI is like 2.4 and change. And that is because since we are tax capped, and I won't talk much longer on taxes, so they only do this once a year, and I know it's not our favorite thing, is since we are tax capped in those couple of years where CPI was over 5%, we could not levy more than 5%. So when you read and you see, all of these increases, just kind of keep an open mind that I feel like our school district is doing what we can to be fiscally responsible for the taxpayers and our school districts. And then the other little thing I just wanted to throw out there, for the past couple of years, we've been hearing Humboldt County has not been processing their collections properly. And over the years, our tax bills have gone out late, collections have come in late, and of course that costs us money. Well, the good news is they are now processing our tax collections on time. So the bills that went out and were due on April 1st, we have already received over 70% of that money, which is great news, because there was a period of 2 months where we didn't see any money. So it's not where we want it to be, but a little bit of good news in terms of moving forward with Cook County. Anybody have any questions on any of that?
With the new Chromebooks, do they get cases with those as well, or just the computer?
Usually, I believe we buy new cases as well. They get pretty nasty over 3 years. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Where are we at
New-
here? New business 8.0.
Yeah, so we have 26 fund policies here. So I'll read each one. No, we have 3 that had questions on them, and they're about as simple as you get because they actually have answers that we don't have to talk about. So the first one is, does the board post notices and agendas at the location where the meeting is to be held, in addition to posting at the district's main office? That is a yes. Does the board take a roll call vote on all action items? You do. And how many employees are employed by the district, including part-time workers? And you had to say either 50 or below or above 51. We obviously are at 51. So do you have anything? You have one, right?
I'm actually gonna jump in on 4:60. This is the board policy that governs our purchases and contracts. And what we're looking to do is to go back to the original standard press policy, which really just kind of limits the language and makes us more consistent with the standard policy.
But I also, in the printout is in your board packet to see exactly what we're looking to either add or strike. And, but what I really want to share is that procedural, nothing's going to change. If we have a contract for 20,000 or 30,000, whatever it's going to be, if it is material, if it is new to the district, we are certainly going to seek board approval on that.
Yeah, the hope of this is it will just limit the number of things we continuously have to vote on as prices keep going up. But as Kathy said, we never want to surprise anyone at this table. So we're always going to bring to you everything, but it will limit the amount of things we have to add to continuously vote on. So, and this is just the first reading. And then we'll look to approve at the next meeting.
Make a motion.
Mr. Medina. Mrs. Lehman.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder. Mrs. Bergen.
Aye.
Mrs. Grow. Aye. Mrs. Woods.
Aye. 8.2 potential board action to approve the 26-27 schedule of board meetings and study sessions.
Yeah, and I did want to just point out, so they're all pretty straightforward, kind of what we've done, except the one in March. March was scheduled for March 9th, which from what we're hearing is either going to be Eid or the night before Eid. And so that just makes no sense, especially because it's our meeting that we invite all of our families that got straight A's. So we were looking to move that a week forward. I also want to let you know, if you remember back to when we were looking at the calendar, went back and forth on March 9th and 10th. I talked to 218, said, I think you guys might have the wrong date. We went to the teachers union. It was almost split. 218 is now saying, we think we have the wrong date. We're probably going to change it. If that takes place, we would probably look to change to be in line with them also. But that's why that one date in March is different than all the other ones.
I do this in a time of the report.
Yeah, because we were like, oh, that's maybe we could push it up a week, and that would not have given it because the families will get it that Monday, the 1st, I believe it is. That's parent teacher conference night, and then we'll be good.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Can I have a motion?
Motion was to include the date that it is the change, you're taking the change to March 6th. On board meeting date.
Okay, so can I have a motion for the 26-27 schedule of board meetings and study sessions to include the change of March 16th?
Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
Mrs. Grove.
Aye.
Mrs. Bergen.
Aye.
Mr. Medina. Mrs. Lamb.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye. 8.3 potential board action to approve the 26-27 consolidated district plan.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Mrs. Lamb.
Aye.
Mr. Medina.
Aye.
Mrs. Grove. Mrs. Schroeder. Mrs. Bergen.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye. 8.4 potential board action to purchase student Chromebooks from Vision 21 Solutions in the amount of $171,120.
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
Mrs. Grove. Mrs. Bergen.
Aye.
Mrs. Lamb.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder. Mr. Medina.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye. 8.5 potential board action to approve contract with Diopath in the amount of $48,268.97 for E-rate equipment and services.
I'll make the motion.
Second. Mrs. Bergen.
Aye.
Mr. Medina.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder. Mrs. Grove. Mrs. Lamb.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye. 8.6 potential board action to approve payment to NWEA in the amount of $26,210 for NWEA growth and fluency assessments.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Medina.
Aye.
Mrs. Lamb.
Aye.
Mrs. Bergen.
Aye.
Mrs. Grove. Mrs. Schroeder. Mrs. Lewis.
Aye. 8.7 potential board action to approve payment to Kendall Hunt in the total amount of $50,342.84 for illustrative math consumable workbooks.
Make a motion.
Mrs. Schroeder. Mrs. Lamb.
Aye.
Mr. Medina.
Aye.
Mrs. Grove. Mrs. Bergen.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye. 8.8 potential board action to approve payment to Discovery Education in the amount of $27,602.47 for the K-8 student online resources, Greenbox Math, Greenbox Reading Park, and Reading Plus.
Second.
Mrs. Lamb. Mrs. Bergen. Mrs. Grove. Mrs. Schroeder. Mr. Medina. Mrs. Lewis.
Aye. 8.9 potential board action to approve 5-year contract with Time Clock Plus for employee time and attendance system in the amount of $34,337.72.
I'll second.
Mrs. Bergen on the motion or the second on that. Mrs. Bergen.
Aye.
Mr. Medina.
Aye.
Mrs. Lamb.
Aye.
Mrs. Grove. Mrs. Schroeder. Mrs. Lewis.
Aye. 8.10 potential board action to approve 1 FTE sped teacher.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mrs. Grove. Mrs. Bergen.
Aye.
Mr. Medina.
Aye.
Mrs. Schroeder. Mrs. Lamb.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye. 8.11 potential board action to approve 1 full-time employee third grade teacher.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Actually, Mrs. Schroeder on that.
You want us?
Mr. Medina. Mrs. Lamb.
Aye.
Mrs. Bergen.
Aye.
Mrs. Grove. Mrs. Schroeder. And Mrs. Lewis.
Aye. 9.0 opportunity for visitors to speak. 10.0 president's prerogative. Well, I would love for our parents to consider volunteering for the PTA. They do wonderful things for our community and for our school district. Enjoy the weather and be kind to the wild animals. That's okay. Just hurt my heart. 11.0 amendment to closed session.
Yeah, we're gonna adjourn for the discussion of appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. However, a meeting to consider an increase in compensation of a specific employee of a public body that is subject to the Local Government Wage Increase Transparency Act may not be closed and shall be open to the public and posted and held in accordance with this act as defined in the Open Meetings Act, Section 2C1. Discussion of collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or the representatives or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees as described in Section 2C2, the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired as defined in section 2C5, the discussion of security measures and the use of personnel and equipment to respond to an actually threatened or reasonably potential danger to the safety of employees, students, the staff, the public, or public property as defined in section 2C8. The discussion of pending or probable and imminent litigation against, affecting, or on behalf of the district as defined in section 2C11, and the discussion of minutes or prior meetings lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act as defined in section 2C21 for the purpose of review, approval, or release. We will not discuss any student discipline during this closed session.
Can I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mrs. Schroeder.
Aye.
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 Mrs. Gino.
Aye.
Mrs. Rhodes. Aye. Mrs. Elizabeth.
Aye.
Have a great night, everyone.
Good night, good night.
Bye, Lori, thank you.
Yeah, have a good night, everyone.
Good night,
All
Lori.
right.
Hey, Megan, can I ask for some insight too? When do you think the info for summer is gonna go up?
I cannot tell you, because everybody has to be told at the same time.